Black CEO denied first-class seat. 12 minutes later, he grounds the plane and fires the pilot. Before we dive into this story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you like the video, please subscribe. The black man in a tailored suit approached the first-class cabin with calm confidence, his boarding pass in hand. But before he could settle in, the flight attendant raised a hand, her tone sharp. "Sir, this area is reserved for first-class passengers only." Murmurs followed. Passengers watched, smirking. The pilot stepped out to back her up. "You'll need to move to coach, sir." No one knew who he was. 12 minutes later, the cabin lights dimmed, the engines shut off, and a voice crackled over the intercom. "Flight grounded until further notice." The man they humiliated just made one call. Miles Carter, 42, was a name whispered in boardrooms and printed on Forbes covers. As the CEO of a global tech conglomerate, he had transformed a startup into a $4 billion empire. But today, he wasn't. Flying private. He'd booked a commercial flight to keep a promise to his late mother, to remain grounded and always remember where he came from. Boarding pass in hand, Miles smiled as he stepped onto the aircraft. He'd flown countless times, but something about today felt different. Perhaps it was the eyes that lingered longer than usual, or the subtle pause in the attendant's voice when she greeted him. But what came next wasn't subtle at all. As Miles reached his seat in 1A, a white flight attendant stepped in front of him. "Sir, this is first class," she said, scrutinizing his appearance. He nodded, showing his boarding pass. "That's right." She didn't even look. "Sir, I think you're in the wrong cabin. Please move to coach before we call security." Passengers nearby chuckled under their breath. One man pulled out his phone. "I'm not moving," Miles said calmly, holding firm. "Check the boarding pass." The pilot emerged from the cockpit. Tall, authoritative, and assuming the worst, he approached. "We can resolve this quickly, sir. You're causing a disturbance." "I'm not disturbing anyone," Miles replied. "I paid for this seat." "You can take this up with customer service," the pilot snapped. "Now please step out of first class." What they didn't know, what none of them cared to ask, was that Miles was the largest shareholder in the airline they worked for. Miles took out his phone. Just one call. 12 minutes passed. The plane, ready to taxi, suddenly halted. Engines powered down. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing a delay due to an internal directive. Please remain seated." Flight attendants huddled near the galley, whispering nervously. The pilot's face turned pale as a message buzzed across his comm device. Then a name echoed across the intercom. "Mr. Carter, would you please step outside the cabin for a moment?" The captain followed him to the jet bridge. Waiting, there was a high-ranking airline executive, eyes wide with panic. "Mr. Carter," he said breathlessly, "we're so sorry for this unacceptable treatment. You won't be flying this plane today, not with that crew." Miles looked back calmly. "Then I assume you're handling it." The executive nodded. The captain and the lead flight attendant were immediately removed from the flight. Within hours, the airline issued a public apology. Internal emails revealed they had received a direct call from the chairman of the board, prompted by Miles's brief message. "This ends now." The incident went viral, not because Miles made a scene, he hadn't, but because his silence, his refusal to fight back with words, had spoken louder than anything else. He didn't yell, he didn't threaten, he acted. The airline lost millions in the stock dip that followed. And every single crew member that day learned a lesson. Never judge someone by the color of their skin or the seat they walk toward. This wasn't just about a seat in first class. It was about dignity, the kind that too often gets denied to people of color, no matter their status or success. Miles Carter didn't need validation from strangers, but he gave the world a moment it wouldn't forget. And maybe someone in that audience will think twice before assuming where someone belongs. If you enjoyed this story and thought it provoking, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Take care.